eject those Cedo, cuz.
Alright, what's up guys? Here at Kaufman MX for the school, group training thing with AJ. So that's gonna be a blast. I'm gonna go to the riders meeting in a little bit, and I'll see you guys at the track. Alright boys.
So we'll send you guys all out there together for the free practice. Is everybody comfortable with that? There's 18 total riders. All right, a couple quick things on just like class etiquette, guys. So when you go out for breaks, when you come back, obviously shut the bikes off as quick as possible. And nothing worse than teaching a lesson and then having somebody come in and idle their bike for 30 seconds and you just have to sit there. When I just totally lost my train of thought. If there's a guy in front of you creating space and going slow around the loop so that when he gets back to the section he has space, don't blast by him because that's the purpose of him creating space. When you come in through a section, the goal is to be able to just be completely by yourself. So that lane, myself, you just watch one bike. Always anticipate the worst. You're coming up to a jump behind somebody, assume they're not going to jump it. Assume that they're going to land and swerve from one side to the other. Expect these things so that when they do happen, you're not left scrambling to try to make some type of decision. Go slow first couple laps.
You can pass, don't all just go single file.
Oh, donkey.
What I meant by don't pass guys, and you can pass guys when we work sections as well, but don't be an idiot about it. In a free practice, do whatever the heck you want. Pass respectfully, but if... I can't believe everyone just took that literally, that's hilarious. You can pass, don't all just go single file on the line now. You good? Yeah. What happened? What? It's interesting because I can immediately pick out the guys that have done a class before, or you haven't done a class with me?
No sir.
You watch them.
I've just watched all the videos.
You can tell. You can definitely tell, like his footwork is super good, 15 on the Honda. When you stand up, you look fast. Balls of your feet. I didn't see anybody really screwing this up too terribly. The biggest mistake here is people like to ride on their arches, like to ride on their heels, rotate into the shifter, into the brake lever. Just kind of lazy man's riding in that sense. Two reasons that's bad. One is when you ride on your arches or your heels, you're eliminating all of your ankle suspension travel, all of it. You don't have any ankle movement at all at that point. Second reason it's bad is it points your kneecaps outward so we can't properly grip the bike. Get on the balls of your feet, allow your heels to drop. This is suspension. You need to use your body's suspension. What this will also do is that will help pull your knee back, knees far enough back on the bike. Those that ride, even some of you on the balls of your feet, tend to ride up in kind of like a calf raised position. It brings their knees too far over the front. This right here, way too much weight forward. This is where we want to be. Everything is very specific. Lower body from the waist down is keeping the weight to the rear. Waist up is keeping the waist forward. So balls of your feet, allow that heel to drop. Next thing, toes in just a little bit. Reason for this, it's gonna angle those kneecaps inward. You point your toes out. I can't even touch my knees together at all. Point those toes in, got a little bit more grip strength. Point the toes in, drive those kneecaps inward. Now my knees are locked. I don't even have to think grip, and this is as far apart as I can get my knees to go. They automatically just want to lock. So you'll see pro guys in supercross whoops, rollers and outdoors really over exaggerate that position, locking those knees in, driving those toes all the way up against the engine case or brake lever or whatever it is that that toe is resting up against. It has to be all the way up against that bike. Next thing is knees. Knees can't come in front of the foot pegs when you stand. For the most part, we want to keep the knees driven back. Good telltale sign is if you look down and you can't see your tippy toes, you can't see your foot pegs, it means your knees are too far forward. I like to sometimes even use the ribs on your seat as a reference. If you have a rib seat, that front black rib, knees shouldn't really go in front of that black rib. Hips need to be unlocked. So what that is pelvic tilt, butt's kind of poked out, shoulder blades are pulled back, chest aimed up. This disconnects lower body from the upper body. So if you have that hip movement, you have those hips unlocked, I can work that bike underneath all day long and not move my chest or my head. Pretty much that right there is the saving grace of any high level pro rider. You can see them get kicked on the face of a jump. You can see them get totally sideways through a set of whoops. Letting the lower body let the bike move is key. As soon as we lock, so as soon as this pelvis drives forward, kind of giving us this hunchback look, drives the knees forward as well, we've now locked our hips. And what this does, which is wicked dangerous, is it connects our lower body completely to our upper body. So any movement that bike's giving to our feet, we're gonna feel it all the way up to our head. So if you're casing a jump, if you're getting cross-rutted, you get a little kick on the takeoff of a jump, your whole body is going to react to that as opposed to just allowing the bike to do its thing. Your head in the attack position really shouldn't come behind that crossbar pad. A lot of times, especially under hard acceleration when you're standing, that your head's actually gonna come even further forward, more over your front fender. Your knees can't slide with your head. We're not doing this, we're not going down straight away like this. We keep the knees locked tight and back, and then you would drive your chest forward for acceleration, and then drop down to neutral for braking or deceleration is here. So notice the little bit of head difference change with that. You would never catch me here. If you want to get whiskey throttle, this is where you stand. Even as I sit here on the stand, all of that weight transfers into my arms, and I'm holding on to for dear life with my arms. Natural human instinct is to get your head away from danger, right? So I think that as people are riding, they're so afraid all the time. I just want to get my head away from the scariness that's there. When you watch a less experienced guy go through whoops, they're going to come in and they're going to be the ones that are doing this and leaning back because they're like, holy crap, 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 and they're trying to get their head away from that danger. Where you watch, like, look at pictures or videos of James Stewart, the best that ever hit a set of whoops, or even his brother Malcolm, one of the best now.
Oh yeah.
Their heads are way the heck up. The knees are back. The whoop position is literally like this, right here.
Once you get your head behind the handlebars and you fall back, the only place for you to go is forward. So ejecto-ceto does.
15 on the Honda is probably like the best attack position, or one of the best attack positions.
Nice.
But you're really, really stiff within it. Like you're there, but you're not moving. So the next step is we need to make sure that we are moving within that attack position vertically, not forward and back. That movement would look like just drop your foot. Well, keep it, yeah, and now go back up. Now go down, up. That is your movement with the lower body, and then your upper body is going to do a push-up while you're doing that. So, yep, pretty much. Notice how that's vertical absorption. He's not doing this forward and back, which is the biggest mistake. Most riders are going over jumps like this. And every time I do that, it's throwing the weight forward and back because the knees are flying forward and back. So you're at the next phase. You're at the perfect attack position, but you're just stuck there the whole time. So you just need to make sure that you're working, allowing that bike to work on you. One of the tricky things about the stand-up position is the shifting and braking. It is just a small slide forward and a small slide back to the controls. That's it. We're not ninja kicking the levers because notice what that does. My knee comes disconnected from the shroud. Our knees, whether we're standing or sitting for a turn, should never break contact from the bike. This isn't street bikes. We're not going around turns, taking our knees off. We're not standing up, throwing ninja kicks at the levers, taking the knees off. Those knees are locked tight no matter what. People are aimlessly just riding laps around the track. I get it. We're all here to have fun, especially guys that are just out on the weekends or a couple days a week just to cruise around and have fun with your buddies. But don't just go out there and aimlessly ride around. There should be some sort of game plan, and the more knowledge you have, it makes it more fun anyways, because when you make mistakes, you know why the mistake was made. The analogy I've been using is the golf analogy. I suck at golf, and I don't hate it for that reason. I hate it because I hit the ball, it's in the woods. Hit the ball, it's in the pond. Hit the ball, it goes perfectly straight. I'm just like, on the tee, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's causing the ball to go perfectly straight. I don't know what's causing it to fly off to the right. It's the same thing for a lot of guys. They end up on the ground, they're like, I don't know what caused that, but we'll just keep riding and, you know, hopefully it doesn't happen next time. Shifting up doesn't mean you have to go faster. You could go 25 miles an hour in first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. You can go that same speed in all of those gears. The power delivery is what's going to change. First and second and third gear are going to be really torquey and kind of want to rip the bike out from underneath you, right? Where fourth and fifth at 25 miles an hour is going to feel really flat and linear power. So when you get on the gas, whether intentional or unintentional, if that wrist turns and you're not ready for it, it's going to make that power feel flat. On any of these obstacles, you want that. The only time you don't want that is if you're like coming out of a turn to try to like seat bounce a big jump coming in.
go for that table.
What bike do you got?
I ride a KTM 250F.
Okay, that was cool.
See how everything stays very neutral. You hear the RPM, so I know this is a 450, but barely on the gas, super smooth everywhere. If I rode this track at speed, it would sound a little bit different than that, but it would still sound very smooth and like not much going on.
So I've always had a problem shifting up while standing. Is there any like way I can like improve on that?
Well, firstly, you just got to make sure your shift lever's in the right spot, which it is. That takes practice. It is awkward. So normally I would be shifting up either sitting down still while I'm exiting a turn, or especially in Supercross, pretty confident in saying that 95% of my shifting is done in the air.
Brian Ayala